What's up, y'all? I'm Jay. I'm a singing and songwriting teacher, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Angelina Jordan singing What a Difference a Day Makes by Dinah Washington. Let's get into it. God, she's only 8 years old here. It takes a lot of confidence to perform in front of that many people at that age.
What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours
Yes, Angelina.
brought the sun and the flowers. Where they used to be rain. My yesterday was blue deep.
I hear the Billie Holiday influence.
Today I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear.
Yes.
Since you said you were mine, Lord, what a difference a day makes.
A day makes.
There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, that thrilling kiss, it's heaven when you find a romance on your menu.
God, even the background singers sound
What a
good.
difference
This
a
is
day
so good.
makes. And the difference is you.
All right, so that was Angelina Jordan's incredible version of What a Difference a Day Makes. And wasn't that was just very lovely all around. Everything from the band to the background singers to obviously Angelina just sounded so good together and so cohesive. But what I liked about it wasn't even that it sounded good, because that's just kind of a given at this point with Angelina. I'm just kind of expecting her to slay it every single time, no matter what age she is, even though it's incredible she did this at 8, don't get me wrong. But what I found so interesting about this was just how authentically jazz it felt. Like I mentioned the Billie Holiday influence um, earlier in the video while I was listening to it, but it's like very, very specific things that she's doing too when it comes to vocal function. Vocal function meaning like, what is the voice actually doing? What is she actually doing with her register qualities, meaning the type of sounds that she's using, and the kind of vowel qualities also. How is she shaping her mouth to kind of make these words come across to us as the listeners, and kind of shaping the overall phrases as well, the kind of musical sentences of the song. The reason that I hear a lot of Billie Holiday is two very distinct things. Number one is kind of the use of constriction, meaning that Billie Holiday, she kind of had a way of talking and singing like this. What a difference a day makes. I'll be seeing you. Like it's a very like kind of thin wispy sound, and she keeps her mouth kind of tight, but that's a very cool, interesting, unique sound to me. Billie Holiday is one of those singers where like you hear her on the record and you instantly know who it is. And the other thing that Angelina has honed in very well in is the way that Billie Holiday does her vibrato. Now, normally vibrato is just supposed to be like a very smooth isolation. It's kind of like a nice little cherry on top. It's kind of this gloss that just makes a vocal, especially like longer notes, seem prettier. Ooh. So straight tone would just be ooh, just me holding out a note. Vibrato is just a little bit of isolation. Ooh. But with Billie Holiday's and like a lot of other earlier jazz singers, they were distinct for having like a very quick vibrato. That isolation for them is very fast. Ooh, what a difference a day makes. And she included like a lot of little lilts and slides into notes as well, which is very characteristic of jazz. But it's so many. With Angelina, what I really appreciate with her, it's like it's all in the details. Like she sounds good, that's a given. But to me, there's good singers are a dime a dozen. You can run into them at any karaoke bar. But for me, what really makes like an artist and somebody who is really good at telling the kind of overall story arc of a song is somebody who kind of captures the nuances of the song itself and also kind of the genre specifications, right? So genre specifications are just kind of things that the earlier practitioners, like her idols, were doing. And like I mentioned, she does a lot of what Billie Holiday is known for, the kind of constriction, the kind of quick vibrato, and it's also the register quality. Billie Holiday was known for having like a lighter voice. She sang in a little bit more of a mixed quality. She wasn't like belting all the time like some earlier blues singers like a Bessie Smith, for example, who was one of her like a little bit before Billie Holiday in terms of just like the overall timeline of great jazz and blues singers. But Billie Holiday's voice was very kind of on the thin side and kind of light, which was important to note because it kind of affected the way that she would end up using the microphone. Billie Holiday, a lot of people don't talk about this, but she was the first singer who really used getting up close to the mic to her advantage because it was able, this was the first time that a singer with a voice like that was a bit on the smaller side was able to be captured and kind of deliver an intimate performance, whereas before you kind of just had to project to be heard, and that was kind of it. But Billie Holiday really kind of captured the essence of like a more intimate performance by using the microphone up close like this, and she wasn't afraid of it. She embraced it. And the reason I mention that is because if you look at the video and the way that Angelina is using the microphone, it's very similar too. She's kind of like right on it in the way that Billie probably would have used it to sing a song like this. And I know this is a Dinah Washington song, but the vibe to me was giving Billie Holiday, obviously. So I'm just very, very impressed with like the small nuances and details that she was able to capture at 8 years old. And she didn't have a teacher guiding her, so literally her teachers had to have just been the records that she was listening to. And jazz is like, it's very specific. It's a very specific genre that follows its own set of rules outside of a lot of other genres like pop or R&B, blues, etc. So it's a genre that you can't just listen to like here and there. You really, really have to study the nuances. So the fact that she was able to do this at 8 years old is incredible to me. But this just goes to show that child singers are capable of a lot too. Like I mentioned this in the I Put a Spell on You video of hers. Child singers are able to do a lot as well. You kind of just have to know how to explain things to them and give them a reference point. She was able to do this because she was obviously trained to listen to these great singers and kind of emulate them on her own. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Some people will say, oh well, she's just doing an imitation, but that's kind of how we all start singing. That's kind of how we all get into music. Eventually you find your path later on, which she did. And even here, I don't feel like this was like a copy of the song exactly. Like she delivered it in a way that was appropriate for her and in her style, but it just felt like she was using the bit of nuances and genre conventions to really capture the artistic message of the song. So this was great. It was a joy to listen to this. All right, everyone. So that was my reaction and final thoughts to What a Difference a Day Makes by Angelina Jordan. I really enjoyed that performance. I thought that there was a lot of nuance, subtlety, and class to it. But let me know what you thought about it in the comments. I love hearing y'all's thoughts as well. And if you have any other suggestions for other artists or songs that I may not have heard of quite yet, please let me know in the comments as well. I love taking suggestions to kind of get exposed to more and more different kinds of music out there as well. If you found anything that I said insightful or helpful at all, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all of that great stuff. Thanks.